There's obviously a lot of debate on this whole subject of sexuality, particularly across different European countries at the moment. There's been a lot of discussion about same-sex marriage and such like. And a lot of discussion within the church as well over, well, does the Bible really have anything to say about sexuality? Jesus doesn't really mention it, so surely it's not a big issue. There isn't really much in the New Testament people say about sexuality. Now, I think the reason why there isn't so much about sexuality in the New Testament is not because the Bible is vague in its teaching, but actually it's quite clear in its teaching. The New Testament spends longer discussing issues that were debatable, like should you eat food sacrificed to idols, which isn't particularly a big issue for us today at all. It spends less time talking about those issues, not because homosexuality, for instance, didn't exist in Roman culture. It did, perhaps more so than in our own. But because there was no debate really amongst Christians at the time about whether this was right or wrong. I think if we take the Bible as a whole, our understanding of the blueprint for sexuality doesn't primarily come from the Levitical laws, which you could argue have been fulfilled in Christ, but they come originally from God's pattern for creation in Genesis. We see God's pattern is that marriage is the context in which sex is to be enjoyed, and that's between a man and a woman in a lifelong commitment. That's God's pattern or blueprint for sexuality. And actually, if we look at Jesus, we see that he reiterates that and repeats that teaching. So I don't think we have any reason at all to suggest that God's blueprint for sexuality is anything other than that, what we see from the Bible.